What is up, everybody? My name is CringeyJesse, and we're back at it again with another Formula 1 Manager 23 video. As you can see, I'm about 500,000, 600,000 in debt at the moment, thanks to Sophia Flörsch, who has been wrecking. I think she wrecked out of the last 2 races, and what does she have, 3 total DNFs? Something like that. We'll figure it out at the end of this video. But yeah, so I already had to buy a new engine part for her. Let's see if we can go look at that real quick. It was the ERS. I had to buy a new one for her because I just got a dog. Engine, you know, we're down to the last one there at E-8. And then gearbox, we are also down to the last one, E-10, because I was using that one for practice. E-8 and E-9 for the races, and then no, she just decided to wreck out there at that U-turn in the last race at Zandvoort. So luckily we really haven't had a problem with money this season, and I want to say that's a big part to Pierre Gasly helping us in every department. He's helping us in the constructors because has 300 points and Pierre Gasly has 300 points, so it is what it is. But here we are in Monza. This is where Pierre Gasly won his first ever race with AlphaTauri, and this is where he could possibly win another race at Monza with a different team, and then possibly his 9th win of the season. But only one way to find out. Let's get into it. Here we are in Monza Q1. Flörsch going faster than Gasly at the moment. Gasly coming to start. Set the time to beat here. He's going to set it with a 121.6, but Flo's going to beat it with a 121.5. Gasly did go faster in the 3rd sector. Flörsch going faster in the first 2 sectors, so I don't know if that's a good sign from Flörsch or a bad start for Gasly. And here comes Gasly sitting P11. Flo still sitting P9. Not too much of an improvement here on their final laps. Gasly will finish. And Flo will finish. And it looks, honest to God, it looks like they both made it into Q2. With Flo actually doing better than Pierre Gasly right here. Is this the weekend she improves? Here in Q2, here comes Pierre Gasly. This time he is going faster than Sophia Flörsch. He will set the time to beat, and that time to beat will be a 121.0 as Sophia Flörsch comes around about half a second slower. More like 6/10 if I have that correct. Here comes Pierre Gasly sitting P3, improving Sector 1, not so much Sector 2, but coming across the line. Can he improve his time any? I don't know. Can Flo improve hers any? Make it into Q3 for the first time? No, so Q1 was a fluke for Sophie. Maybe she's faster on the hards? Coming around to set the time to beat is Pierre Gasly on the softs this time. As he comes on to set the time, that time will be a 120.9. Here comes Pierre Gasly to set his 3rd time, or not his 3rd time, his 2nd time here in Q3, and that time is going to boost him all the way up into P1, about 4/100ths in front of Ocon. Across the line for another yellow sector 2, so no time improvement, but he will be provisional pole still as we watch Ocon to see what Ocon can do. And Ocon, who was behind Pierre Gasly, is coming around the bend. It looks like he's going really slow though, so I honestly think he's going into the pit lanes. He is. However, Magnussen will have pole here, and
the Italian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
I am so sorry for the late start here. We normally get to see the F1 intro and all of that, but this one's going to start halfway between the lights and all that. And that also interrupted my sentence. Speaking of not starting where we thought they were, Sophia Flörsch has ended up in last because of the engine part that I told y'all about at the beginning of the video. Wait, she's actually not struggling. Is she going side by side into turn 1 with Mick Schumacher? She is. And up in front of Mick Schumacher goes Sophie, so that's 1 overtake for Sophie as she is doing everything she can to keep up with that Ferrari and Charles Leclerc. She is not. Gasly, however, we completely missed it was 3 wide down into turn 1 and turn 2. I can't believe I missed that, but I'm glad I watched this replay, as here comes Gasly. Perez, I guess Magnussen touching just slightly. Here comes Sophie down into turn 1. It looks like she has the inside on Tsunoda this time. Side by side through the chicane and up into P18 goes Sophie. Sophia Flörsch looking for the inside up to the big U-turn. And the big U-turn inside pass she will have up into P17 here. Is it side by side? Charles Leclerc and Sophie down into the chicane and coming out of it up into P16. Pulling out on Albon here, looking up the inside, up into P15. Sophia Flörsch is up into P14 now. Piastri boxed. Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz and Pourchaire and some other people all in the pit lanes. So Sophie moving up to P8. Verstappen, Bottas, and Magnussen in the pit lanes. Sophie, the highest I have ever seen her in a race, up into P5. But Sophie up in front of both Perez and Ocon for P3. George Russell has boxed, and now Sophie and Gasly holding on to P1 and P2. It's a P1, P2 has. And here she comes. She started in P5. Let's see where she comes out. I'm hoping she still comes out decently. Down into P15. Ricciardo went into the pit lanes right before she could pass him. And Ricciardo's going to get right back in front of him. Here comes Gasly into the pit lanes. P1, Perez. Bottas both have an opportunity to pass him. So does Ocon. And P3, Magnussen's going to pass him. And he's going to get out. Ugh. Sainz and Verstappen both get in front of him. And up in front of Carlos Sainz, looking for Verstappen. DRS on Max Verstappen down into turn 1, taking back P5. Max Verstappen trying to hold on to that battle, but Gasly getting in front of Bottas there. Now looking to get in front of Perez. Flo, we missed it, gets in front of Charles Leclerc before the DRS line, and Pierre Gasly will get in front of Perez. Around the Big Bend, she has the inside. I think she also has DRS. Yes, she does. So it's behind both Pourchaire. Jesus. Pierre Gasly winning the race once again here in Monza. That's his 9th win in a row. But we have Sophie up into P12, sitting behind Verschoor. Coming to the Big Bend here. We're going to watch this one in ×1, see if she can do anything as they come around the last turn. And it looks like, unless she can do something right here, Verschoor's going to get P11. Sophia Flörsch finishing P12 after starting P20.
The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here.
That's their 9th win of the season. I expect them to be showered with plaudits and more.
And that, right there, is a picture-perfect end to this weekend in Monza.
And that is the Monza Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly winning his 9th race in a row with the fastest time as well. So another extra point for him. Sergio Perez picking up 2nd place, and Valtteri Bottas finding himself on the podium today. And that will round out your top 3. Esteban Ocon coming in 4th. Max Verstappen making big improvements, starting somewhere near the bottom, ending in 5th. Kevin Magnussen getting P6. Lance Stroll 7th. Carlos Sainz in 8th. Lando Norris in 9th. George Russell in 10th. So unfortunately, both Red Bulls got points today. Yeah. And it looks like they got more points than Pierre Gasly did. Richard Verschoor gets P11. Sophia Flörsch gets P12 today, the highest we've seen her at all. Then at Theo Pourchaire, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, Alexander Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Yuki Tsunoda, and Mick Schumacher. No DNFs this race, no yellow flags, no VSCs, no red flags. Moving on to the Drivers' Championship, we have Pierre Gasly leading the race there with 326 points. Max Verstappen in second with 238 points. And Kevin Magnussen in third with 156 points. That is your podium. Do they call that a podium? Anyway, that's your top three. Oscar Piastri in fourth. Sergio Perez moving up 3 spots to P5. Zhou Guanyu moving down a spot to P6. Esteban Ocon moving up 2 spots to P7. And Charles Leclerc dropping 2 spots to P8, with George Russell dropping 2 spots to P9. Valtteri Bottas still in P10. He got on podium today, so that's good. So I'm assuming that's going to help him with his P10, P11 race. And that rounds out your top 10. P11 is Carlos Sainz, and yes, that is definitely going to help Valtteri Bottas' P10 spot. Carlos Sainz, P11. Lando Norris, P12. 13th is Lance Stroll, Theo Pourchaire in P14. Ricciardo in P15. Alexander Albon in P16. Richard Verschoor in P17. Yuki Tsunoda, P18. Mick Schumacher, P19. And Sophia Flörsch in P20 with 0 points still, but after today's race, looking like she might actually get points by the end of this season, which is the goal that we have for her. Moving on to the constructors, Red Bull still on top with 349 points, gaining 28 points this weekend, which is 2 more than Haas, sitting in second place with 326 points, gaining 26 points this weekend. Alpine in P3 with 290 points, only gaining 8 points this weekend. Ferrari in 4th place with 191 points. McLaren in 5th place with 177 points, gaining the second most amount of points this weekend with 27 points. So even they did better than Haas. Alfa Romeo in P6, Mercedes P7, AlphaTauri P8, Aston Martin P9, and Williams still in last with still single digits. I mean, even Aston Martin's about to fight AlphaTauri for P8. And then maybe Mercedes. I'm a little shocked with Mercedes, but yeah, Williams in P10. All right, we are at negative 600,000, and that was partly because we got the new underfloor after practice 2, and I went ahead and got the underfloor part done for that race. So no more random upgrades as of right now unless we start to struggle and Pierre Gasly starts to lose out on P1. But he has some ways to go. But if I see it getting close, I mean, we're already here, so might as well get P1. But yeah, that was Monza, and Monza was a very exciting, slash interesting race for us. Pierre Gasly winning his 9th in a row, his second time ever winning in Monza, for his second team. Yeah, I mean, that statement's still true. This was technically AlphaTauri, Alpine, then Haas. Didn't he race for Red Bull, or am I tripping? I don't know. Anyway, Sophia Flörsch, who came into this race, Q1 got P9, I believe, so she was able to get into Q2, but P13 in Q2, so got eliminated in Q2. But then with her penalty, started in P20, and then ended up P12. So the way I see it, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So that was definitely improvement on her part. Contract-wise, I know we have Pierre Gasly again next year, and at the rate we're going, we might as well keep him. But after his contract, that's a whole nother season and a lot of thinking to do. I would still like somebody cheaper because, bro, let me show y'all my contracts. Let me show y'all my contracts. I'm over here thinking I want to keep these guys, right? So I had him, what, 3 years, 15 million a year. His race target bonus was 1 million, and that's if he gets fifth or higher. Um, and I've seen people do this with better drivers, like way better drivers. Their race target bonus was like 500,000 for fifth or higher, or third or higher. And I'm over here like, yeah, yeah, I messed up. I messed up with that one. I don't know if I did different for Sophie. I did. So I was like, if she gets 10th or higher, she only gets 10,000. Um, 2 years, 1 million. So she was a lot cheaper. But Pierre Gasly, yeah, and I did the same thing with Fernando. Someone asked in my comments at one point, why did I get rid of Fernando? And it's his contract came to an end, and I wanted someone cheaper. And I also wanted to work on this challenge that I've seen a lot of YouTubers do, and that was to get Sophia Flörsch a driver's champion. And I want to do that before F1 Manager 24 comes out. Because if I don't, then I'm going to work on it in F1 Manager 24. I'm probably going to do that anyway. Don't know. We'll see when that happens. Anyway, that was Monza. Up next is Singapore. We're on round number 16. So we are definitely coming to the end of the 2026 season with just a couple of more races to go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Less than... Ooh, don't know what that was. Less than 10 races to go. And yeah, there's a shot we get P1 in constructors, there's a shot we get P1 in drivers, and there's a shot we get Sophia Flörsch the first points of the season for a female F1 driver. I don't know. I think there was a female F1 driver a long time ago. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, and if you can't wait for the next one, hit that subscribe button. I enjoy making these videos, and I really hope you enjoy watching these videos. I enjoy watching the numbers go up. Either way, I'm just having fun doing this, so I hope you're having fun watching this. And until next time, whatever it is that you do with your life outside of YouTube, I hope you enjoy doing it, and I can't wait to see you guys again.